The El Paso Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages warehouse sits just off one of the last exits of the Texas side of I-10 West. Surrounded by desert landscape and Ciudad Juarez to the south, the city of El Paso is quite remote.
El Paso has a huge challenge out there because they're 600 miles from anything. So when you're out on your own that far, your survival depends on how well you run. It's like working with a team. It's a really tight-knit group. You ask somebody for some help and they're there for you. You know, they know that your intentions are good and that if you work like a team, it's all going to work out in the end. So, and it does. It works out really well. My name is Walter Lieurance. Worked for Coca-Cola for approximately 46 years. I'm now a principal engineer with Southwest Coca-Cola. I track major capital projects. I run them, design them, and complete them, and then hand them over to the plant, and then go on to my next project.
One of Walter's first tasks when he started back in 1977 was to clear out the company's former warehouse.
In the old days, they used to build the production plants on floors. So you might have syrup room in the top floor, the filling room on the second floor, washing bottles, because in the day I started, it was all returnable bottles. And obviously, floors in old buildings leak. It all ends up in the basement. The basement wasn't a great place to be, but it was an interesting stuff we found in there because it had been, you know, just storage for so long. It was crazy, the stuff we found.
In the basement, he found countless pieces of Coca-Cola history, including obsolete types of packaging, old film from World War II, and even branded sewing kits that were distributed during the war. Even as a high schooler, Walter knew these pieces of memorabilia were worth holding on to.
It shows pictures of the families and the armed forces guys and everything coming along. Then it goes into the pictures at the plant where, you know, the workers are getting out the Coke and everything. It ends up with, I think, pictures of, you know, the soldiers coming home and the victory parades and everything.
Walter also found something that gave him a clue of a different type of history at the El Paso facility.
All the old-timers then used to tell stories about the current El Paso plant having a speakeasy in the basement. It didn't mean much to me because it certainly wasn't there then, but there was an odd room underneath the docks of this building. And it had little skinny windows underneath the docks, and I always thought that was a very odd thing because it didn't make sense. But so and there was a pool table that used to wander around in the conference rooms at this place, and it was a really nice pool table. All of those seemed strange for a Coke plant. Well, when I went to clean out this basement room underneath the docks, cleaning it out, and the things I found in there, one of the oddest things was an 8-ball from a pool table. So at some point that pool table was down in the basement in a hidden room underneath the docks. So I kind of, in my opinion, there was a speakeasy under that dock, which is really crazy to me. That was just a great story, hardly any evidence other than the stuff I found. So as far as I'm concerned, I believe it. I just think it's really cool that Coke is that involved with everything that they, well, okay, I don't know about the speakeasy, that's a whole other thing, but like the record and the film and everything showing that, you know, even back then Coke was highly involved with the public. So, I mean, there's a lot of loyalty to a company that's loyal to its employees and its community. So that means a lot to me. I can stick with a company like that. We have a whole bunch of seasoned employees. I think there's 25 or more that's been there over 40 years. It's just awesome to have people sticking around that long that feel like they want to stick around that long. It's just cool.
One of these seasoned employees is Danny Herrera. In fact, the company celebrated his 45-year tenure with a billboard.
That was really exciting. it was, that's an honor, really, to be put out there and let everybody know that, you accomplished so many years working for just one company, especially for Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages.
Danny recently retired, but his brother Javier and Javier's son Jaime continue to work at the facility.
I always liked driving a truck, so that was my goal. So that's why I've been here so long. I've been doing that for 37 years.
A bunch of my accountants, they know me. I've gone for them, 4 or 5 years, so they know who I am. And here comes a Coke guy, or the Coke man, sort of known as. My youngest son, that's what he says he wants to do. He wants to work for Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages as a driver. It was like identical to me. Everything I do, he does. He wants to be a driver too.
And just like the Herrera family, leaving a legacy is always on Walter's mind as he looks forward to the rest of his career.
I like helping people take a step up. It's part of the Coke legacy. Continue to help people move where they want to be. So it's a great feeling. I have no plans of retiring. I mean, it's a great place to work. I get good pay. I get as much time off as I really could possibly want. I always hope that I do a good enough job and make it long-lasting to where it can kind of become a legacy. Where it's like, man, I wanted my replacement, I want them to say, I'd like to do jobs as good as he did. That would be nice.